Welcome to the best chess opening novelties. We're into 1973. Please make sure you like and subscribe to this video, and we'll move over to the chess now. So yet again, we're going to be looking at a player who's come up in the previous two videos as well, Velaj Morovic of Yugoslavia. Velaj Morovic was a brilliant opening and tactical player who came up with many great ideas in the Sicilian. Let's just bring up that picture. You may have seen of him already. He deserves a lot of recognition because of his great play. His opponent in this game, in a match which was Yugoslavia versus Russia, was the Russian very strong player Vashyokov. And again, with the white pieces, this guy was just a demon. So the game started with the Sicilian, and we've seen many Sicilians, and we will go again into an open Sicilian position. That's where white plays d4, opening up the position. And after the catcher here, black plays e6, and this is a way to try and get into the so-called can variation of the Sicilian. It's a very flexible way of play because black can play e6, a6, move this pawn here, and in some cases the bishop on f8 can come out into the open. Black can also just play on the dark squares here on some occasions, or totally change the formation by playing d6. So flexible way to start, but quite difficult for black to play because of these numerous ideas that black has. Rather than in the Najdorf, black's ideas are less, I would say. He has a simple plan of trying to play with b5. Knight c3, normal developing move, and now we see this a6 move, stopping a knight coming there, and potentially trying to play b5 as well. White now plays bishop e2, normal developing option, and now one of the main ideas in the can variation of the Sicilian, queen c7. And again, black's keeping it very flexible, not deciding yet about what to play, but waiting to see how white's going to develop. The queen on c7 can hit on the dark squares towards the king there. It also pressurizes along here and defends the knight. Why is defending the knight useful? Because when b5 is played, knight takes knight, queen takes is an option that black can play. White simply castles now, and here black continues with b5. So this is pretty normal stuff, but as we can see, one of the dangers black has in the Sicilian is this lack of development and lack of safety for that king. The king is not castled. It's going to take a number of moves for black to castle that king, and white's king has tucked himself away over here. So in white's shoes, you should certainly be looking at ways to open up the position. We saw in a previous video the same player, the white piece, has played a phenomenal knight d5 piece sacrifice. So that's something you should bear in mind here, and just trying to get to the black king as quickly as possible. Now white plays an interesting idea. He captures on c6, and again this is all about tempo, and after queen takes c6, pawn takes was maybe a slightly safer option, bishop f3. And this is the right way to play because you want to use that development and create threats. If you haven't got an immediate way to win anything in chess, you keep the threats coming, create a threat, keep the pressure on. And by doing that, by creating threats, you give your opponent more chances to go wrong. Black now played bishop to b7, and here white develops another piece, his last minor piece, bishop to f4. Black plays d6, and a move now that Velaj Morovic played on numerous occasions in these positions, rook e1. And white has all of his pieces now ready to start an attack, and again this idea of knight d5, which we've already seen, becomes very important. Black decided the knight coming there is very scary, and also maybe ideas of the white pawn pushing on, releasing the bishop. So black now tries to block things up with e5, and this is where it gets extremely exciting here. Now a normal person would want to move the bishop on f4, but I very much like what white does, and when you're looking at sacrificing in chess, you've got to kind of smell the opportunity. If you do that at chessboard, you might look a little bit odd, you know. But you probably wouldn't be looking like the oddest chess player in the room. And here, white now finds a brilliant way just to again open up every side of the board. And he plays the novelty of the year for 1973, A4. I remember the game well. And this is just trying to open up the rook on this side, trying to tempt black into taking the piece when we can try to go through the center. And also ideas are just this knight coming in but weakening these pawns over here. And we're going to see that happens in the game with b4, knight d5 in a second. But first of all, what would have happened if black had captured on f4? Well, let's use our trusty computer, and the trusty computer will show us the way. They're blooming strong, these computers. e5, obviously the most natural move, because that king is our target. We're castled. I wouldn't even say we're a piece down here, because black is 3 pieces down over there in the corner. So we want to break the position open. And this is really, really bad. For example, one very nice line is queen d7. The queen is attacked. Why not move away? We can now open up the rook with check. The king has to move. And there's a number of good options here, but I very much like queen d4. And the point of this queen d4 move is that after bishop takes f3, we have checkmate. Can you guys see checkmate? I'm not even going to give you the answer. It's checkmate in 3 moves. Please leave your replies in the comments section. I often get in trouble when I don't hold your hand. I have done in previous YouTube videos and not give me the answer. But, you know, let's test that grey matter, or ginger matter in my case. And you can pause YouTube videos just in case you need a little bit more time. So it's a really nice idea, and this idea of a4 combined with the knight jumping in, it is well worth remembering in these positions. And black tried to keep it closed, but after the knight comes into d5 anyway, we can see that black is in a lot of trouble. We're threatening just to win the pawn here. Black's very much behind in development. Black decided, okay, my position's bad, I'm going to take that bishop. And if your position's bad anyway, why not grab some material? And now e5 would have been the most natural move, but white actually played c3 first, just trying to open up the c file and allow the knight to come into c7. You can imagine with a rook attacking the queen and the knight coming in, that would also be really bad for black. A move like knight to f6 doesn't really help, because you can never get rid of this knight, because we take with check and we win the queen next move. So black tried to keep it closed with b3, and now it certainly is time to play our breakthrough move, e5. These are the kind of moves you should be looking for, a move that liberates the position, liberates the bishop, liberates the rook. I mean, this guy, Velaj Mrovovic, who again, I apologize my pronunciation, it's not my strong point, as you might have guessed. This geezer, he was a geezer, wasn't he? He really deserves more status in the chess world, because we've seen 3 years he's come up with 3 brilliant attacking ideas, and this is before computers, so he really was a brilliant attacking player from Yugoslavia. And now after castles here, what else can black play? He's got to try to get his king out of the way. White quite patiently increases the pressure, just queen takes b3. You don't need to rush the attack unless you see an immediate win. But remember, if you don't see an immediate win, so no knight moves really hit the target, you create a threat, knight b6 check, and you increase the pressure. Black tries to run away with the king, but now a very nice sequence, knight b4, and black is facing 3 pieces attacking his quite scared king here. The queen moves back, and now white gets rid of some of those defensive pieces. The king ends up taking, and now it's time to use that knight, knight d5. The knight and queen coordinate brilliantly together. They're the best combination of pieces when attacking. The king now can't really go anywhere, and well, you can see black is basically lost here. Black tried to give up his queen, but obviously in this position he's a queen down. Other options that you can try here, well, if he goes this way, we have queen b6, forcing the king into the corner, and we win the queen like this. That queen and knight combination, extremely strong. If the king slips to this square, well, again, just the knight comes in here. So I think a very nice idea, and do remember this idea of a4 and knight d5 in open Sicilian positions can be very strong. 1973, what a year, hey? A year where US involvement in the Vietnam War ended, so a year of hippie happiness as well. The album The Best of the Doors came out. It's a good album. Pizza Hut even opened its first restaurant in England. I love a bit of pizza. And elf that fell on the Icelandic island of Hime erupted. Just a bit of useless information there. Please like this video, please subscribe to the channel, and we're going to go through the years and introduce ourselves to many more exciting players, and you get this really useless history lesson off me as well, which I'm sure is why you're watching this video. Cheers.